Good morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning. Yes, the beautiful reminder that we get to choose. You get to choose. We all get to choose what things mean. You can apply that to everything. Somebody says something, somebody does something, maybe you've done something, maybe there's a result, an outcome, maybe you're feeling something, maybe, I don't know, it doesn't matter what it is. The point is you get to give meaning to whatever that is. And why that's so important is because that feeling, which comes from the meaning that you give the fundamentally meaningless, is the attractive force in your life. It's what determines what comes to you, what you go to, what's repelled by you, what's repelled by the world. And, it's everywhere embedded within our world. And what's beautiful is once you gain control of that, once you understand that, and remember, the only way you gain understanding is through use, is through practice, it's through study. With that being said, once you gain an understanding of that, you no longer become a victim of circumstance. And that right there is where it's at. So, with that, make sure that you're using what we're sharing with you because that's what's going to give you the life that you seek. Now, with you, you should also have a beautiful goal. Make sure that it's written down, that it's right beside you, along with this book that we've been studying here, The Master Key System by Charles Haanel. If you don't have a copy of this, by all means, click on the link that will be provided to you there in the chat and get it from Amazon. And also, if you want gold cards, then reach out to us and we can get these to you as well. So let's dive into this, shall we? Let's go into where we are. I'm going to go ahead and switch this over. Now, we went over this before, but I want to go over it again. Here we're on page 44 for your reference. And here he states all possession is based on consciousness. Think of possession in terms of something that's there. All gain a result of a cumulative consciousness. All loss is a result of a scattering consciousness. I want you to notice how here there's a contrast between order and disorder, and how it's through order, more specifically, order in your mind, that you get a lot of what you would love for your life. With that being said, there's a word that I need you to pay close attention to, and that is the word accumulative. An accumulative consciousness, a constant, never ending growth in your awareness. You will gain more in your life the more your mind is open, the more you're willing to reevaluate what's being shared and using knowledge, which will then lead you to more possession. Excuse me, I had a little hiccup there. More possession. Now, think about that for you when it comes to this goal of yours that you're wanting to achieve. This is a possession. This is something that you can claim in your outer world, provided you are continually increasing your level of awareness, which you're conscious of. Now let's go further. Mental efficiency is contingent upon harmony. Discord means confusion. Therefore, he who would acquire power must be in harmony with natural law. Natural law meaning the laws of the universe. Now, this is important because that's something that you've got to tap into if you want to make the change that you seek. And in terms of those laws, that are there, regardless of whether or not you're knowledgeable or ignorant of them, they get enforced regardless of what your awareness is. Now, if you want to have mental efficiency, how many of you want to be more efficient in your mind, right? Raise your hands. Of course you do. Well, then that means you have to be in harmony with what is natural for you, what's in your nature. Now, again, really think about that because it has everything to do with you achieving this and much, much more. You want to acquire the power that's there in you, that's there in me. It's actually in all of us. See, this is where you expanding your mind comes into play. Have you heard this phrase before? Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. You want to transform, your mind's got to be open to level entering into new levels of consciousness, which means you've got to stay away from what's been logical to you. Remember, your logic is the enemy of your progress. I'm not talking about a thought process that leads to a quote unquote logical conclusion. I'm talking about what's normal to you. Isn't that interesting how in our language we can have two different meanings for a word? So if you want that mental efficiency, you want to acquire that power, make sure that your mind is open and willing to receive new information and also be willing to act on things that don't feel normal to you. We are related to the world without by the objective mind. The brain is the organ of the mind, and the cerebral spinal system of nerves puts us in conscious communication with every part of the body. Now, again, I know that we're going over this again, but this is really important for you to get, which is why I'm doing this. Your brain, it's an organ of the mind, it's an instrument of the mind. Your brain is not your mind. It's an electronic switching station. I remember when Bob would say, your brain is no more your mind than your finger is, or your fingertip, or your fingernail. With that, when you understand its purpose, which is to put in consciousness and conscious communication every part of your body, when you're thinking, how it puts it into motion, that changes everything. It'll help you to be more in control of what's happening inside of you. But with this, let me repeat this. The brain is an organ of this mind. It's an instrument of the mind. And the cerebral spinal system of nerves puts us in conscious communication with every part of the body. This system of nerves responds to every sensation of light, heat, odor, sound, and taste. It's something that you can use. When this mind thinks correctly, when it understands the truth, when thoughts sent through the cerebral spinal nervous system to the body are constructive, positive, engaging, these sensations are pleasant, harmonious. By the way, isn't that what you're seeking? To be more in harmony with a feeling of pleasantness and beautiful harmony? To be in tune with that higher version of yourself? Well, in order for that to happen, you've got to think correctly, which is why these calls are so important because these calls lead you to the path of thinking correctly. And through that correct thought, meaning thinking from the path of creation, because that's what this is about, you'll then be able to deliver outcomes that you never dreamt possible before. I mean, really, grab onto this with regards to your goal. The way for you to get this is already here. What's in the way is not you. What's in the way is how you've been thinking. If you want to be led to the right ideas that lead you to the achievement of this, then you have to think in harmony with this. You're not going to be able to get this if you're thinking from its opposite. Things are not brought into existence by thinking of their opposite. Whatever you focus on, you feel. How you feel determines your actions. Your actions then determine your results. The point being is that when you understand the right way of thinking, the right order, which is to go from the spiritual through the intellectual to the physical, which is the creative process, see, that's when you're able to achieve incredible outcomes, outcomes that other people would see as a miracle. You'll be able to manifest your miracles, but only if you think correctly. Now, here I want to emphasize something else too. When this mind thinks correctly, when it understands the truth meaning who you truly are and how your marvelous, miraculous, incredible power of mind works, when when it understands that, oh my God, watch out with it. Watch out. You're going to achieve so many wonderful, powerful things that you, again, never thought were possible for you not too long ago. The result is that we build strength, vitality, and all constructive forces into our body. But it is through the same objective mind that all distress, sickness, lack, limitation, and every form of discord and inharmony is admitted to our lives. Now, remember, your objective mind is the conscious part of mind, the subjective mind is your subconscious mind. Okay? Conscious mind, subconscious mind. And here he's pointing out that, but it is through the same objective mind. Remember, energy is, and it flows to and through you. It's got to go through the conscious mind before it gets to the subconscious mind, which is what he's pointing out. But it's through this objective mind, of which embedded within this objective mind are your higher mental faculties, your imagination, perception, reason, will, memory, intuition, that all distress, sickness, lack, limitation, and every form of discord and inharmony is admitted into our lives. See, it's something that's happening in us mentally that gets embedded within us subconsciously. It is therefore through the objective mind, by wrong thinking, that we are related to all destructive forces. What you're imagining, what you're perceiving, how you're thinking, what you're giving attention to, what you're remembering, the memories that you're creating. That's what sinks it. And the best part is you get to decide how you're going to use what's in that objective mind of yours. Can anyone force you to think the thoughts you think? What's the answer? No. Why is that important? Well, because thought externalizes itself. You want to change your results in your life. You want to change your outcomes. You want to change the level of success that you've been achieving, how much you earn, your lifestyle. You have to eliminate the wrong thinking. You have to eliminate the pattern of thinking that's not getting you there. And again, the best part about that is